Hi there, this is Christine from Unlikely Nest, and today I'm going to show you how to stuff your Velveteen Rabbit with wool. So working with wool is a little bit different than working with other fibers like polyfill. Polyfill you can just sort of stuff into the head of the rabbit and it'll be fine. But if you just stuff the wool into the head of the rabbit, it'll be sort of lumpy and not very firm. So you want to have a little bit of a method when you're working with wool. So your wool usually comes in a batting. So it's got sort of a grain to it, and when you get it on a big roll, you want to tear off strips of it. So I have already torn off a strip here that's about 3 inches wide. I'm going to use that to stuff my rabbit head. I have here a bit of just scrap cotton muslin, and you don't have to use scraps, but if you have scraps around, they make a really good core. You could also just use a really tightly wadded piece of wool as your core, but basically I like to have something to wrap around in order to get the wool started. So here I have my muslin wrapped up into a core, and then I'm going to start wrapping that with my wool. I'm going to wrap it pretty tightly. I'm going to sort of pull the wool around the core. I'm going to go in one direction first. Here I'm just going around in this direction, and my piece is broken off at the end. So that's actually a good place to start wrapping in the other direction. Take a new piece of wool and just sort of, it's almost like wrapping a ball of yarn a little bit. But I want to make sure that my core is completely enclosed and that I'm getting the wool nice and tight so that I have a firm ball here. And I'm also trying to get like an oblongish shape going here. It doesn't have to be perfect because I'll cover it in the end with more wool, but I want to have a sort of tight ball here to form my head. I'm actually going to try to make a ball that is a little bit larger than the rabbit's head. Okay, that looks about the size that I want right there. And then when I get it to be about the size that I want for my head, then I'm going to actually take another piece of batting, a larger piece, and I'm going to stretch this out a little bit. And I'm going to wrap that around my ball, and that'll just make a nice smooth oblong there. So now I have a nice core of a head, and it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to add to it, but I want to have a nice firm core so that I have something to push against when I'm stuffing. So I'll just stuff that up into the rabbit's head. So that's pretty good. Usually what happens is you need a little extra in its nose. So I'm just going to sort of wad a little piece here. That will be his nose. All right, so that's a pretty firm head.